Welcome on in to Wager Weekly for a week 5 in the NFL. Paul Nolan breaking down your Sunday card. Let's take a look at Baltimore and Pittsburgh, Paul Nolan, because I think people look at this game and they probably look at Pittsburgh and they go, this is the time to move in and buy on Pittsburgh while they're low, coming off an embarrassment 30-6 loss on the road to the Texans. Kenny Pickett suffered another knee injury in that game. He's been questionable all week. And Pickett, other than the preseason, has really been non-existent for this team. Can't find open receivers. I mean, it's really been a disaster. When you look at this game and you look at this line where it is and you see where the public money and the tickets are going right now, tell me what you think.
It's just strange to me. Last week we talked about the troubles Pittsburgh had with their travel schedule. We talked about getting out of Vegas was, flight issues. And then we talked about how, that was a dead spot for them going into Houston. We pounded Houston. We said here on this show it was one of the best bets I've had all year. We called it the 5% play, one of my biggest of the year. And I just felt like this, I was hoping it wouldn't be that much of a blowout because I did want to come back and take Pittsburgh in this rah-rah situation where Tomlin is now a home dog. I mean, I love Tomlin in this situation. I absolutely do. But, Pickett has looked completely awful. I was kind of hoping Mitch Trubisky would play. But what shocks me is 60% of the betting public, 66% of the betting public, the tickets, not the money, 82% of the money is on Pittsburgh in a game where we watched them get embarrassed in prime time. We've seen them, win some games with smoke and mirrors in prime time. People are not sold on this team yet. Here, the money is coming in against a Baltimore team that, it kind of keeps getting the job done, even though they really haven't faced a tough schedule yet. So,
Coach drives me crazy still too. Coach drives me crazy with the numbers and the this and the that. I mean, 3-8 at ATS their last 11, and I put a lot of that on the coach's decisions.
Yeah, I agree with you. Look, I'm a big fan of the metrics, but I also am much more of a fan of game flow and real common sense. Game flow matters. Momentum matters. They can't be quantified in math. That's where the hive mind comes in. I think that this game is going to go under, though. I was hoping, it opened at 41.5, and I missed it. I got a little piece on it, 39.5. But the limits were so small. But I'm still going to bet it under 38, and I can't see this thing. I just can't see this not staying under at this point. Both of these teams are going to struggle to do anything offensively, and this just feels like 19-16, 13-16, 9-12. I've made a living off playing this rivalry under. They're expecting some wind. There should be 12 to 15 mile an hour wind. Not a huge variable in the weather metrics. Everything over 12 starts to go. But if gusts start getting into 16, 18, it starts making a difference for teams that really just, offensively just haven't been great. Lamar has looked better to me in the pocket. I do like him. I think he's going to be a guy who I can bet on down the road. I like the way he's adjusting to the new scheme, but I'm not ready to back him here, and I'm certainly not ready to jump with the public who is all in on a Pittsburgh team that doesn't deserve to be all in on.
Yeah, well, a couple metrics you did point out that I think the public is probably looking at is obviously Tomlin as a home dog since he took over in the Steelers in 2007. Yeah. Some of the numbers, like you said, 16-5-3 against the spread his last 24 as a home dog. Since he took over, Steelers have covered 64% as a regular season underdog, going 51-28-4. So, public sees some of those numbers and they can't resist, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. That's it. And this is what I talk about. That's the most sophisticated betting public we've seen. The people are doing more homework. Honestly, it's the young guys out there who sit behind computers, who grew up with their gateway drug of fantasy football. And, here they are now in the betting market with Disney owning giant bookmaking companies and whatnot. And, they're just, everybody's going to dig in and do more research. So the market has changed. The landscape has changed. You've got to change with it. And, I did think Steelers were going to be faded by the public this week. I'm surprised, but you're right. That's exactly it. People know how good Tomlin is as a home dog. Plus this series, anytime a team's getting more than 3, the numbers are astronomical to the dog. So, I can't, if I had the play here really has to be the dog in this game if you had to, but I'm going to stay with the under in this one. And if you are going to bet this game, it's got to be the Steelers in a 2-team teaser or any kind of 6-point teaser, because if they're going to go through 9 from 3.5 or 4.5, you get through 10.5, that this game, that feels like a virtual, that just feels like the most responsible way to play any kind of teaser. And this one is Steelers going up.
There you go. Under is the way to go in this one, other than that teaser that he just described. So under for Paul Nolan in Baltimore, Pittsburgh, week 5 in the NFL right here, wagerweekly.com.